Hello everyone, welcome to another stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. That's a good start. I'm Johnny Chiodini, that is me. How is everyone doing? Oh, I've not spoken to anyone for a couple of hours, so apparently that's just what happened to my voice without me realising it. Hi, I hope everyone's doing well. It's nice to see you all. How was your weekend? Mine was okay. Good. What are we doing today? We're painting, as per. And I will... oh, no, that's not the right button at all. That's the right button. There we go. So you may remember a while ago, I was painting this sort of lemony mangler squig. And I sort of went back and I'm maybe not quite finished with it, but I was putting some touches on it. And I thought, it's time to start work on the other one. So... we've got this mangler squig, which I'm going to paint green, as you may have guessed from me already having painted it a kind of green. So today what I want to do, if we do that, it's maybe a bit more visible, there we go. I want to work on this, but also, I'm not entirely, oh god, knocked it over onto my palette, that's a good start. I've also got a few more halflings lined up that I started painting a week ago. I'm going to sneeze. What's wrong with me today? Basically, I'm working on some halflings as well, so I might paint these as well. I might flip between the two. It depends. We'll see how things are going. My brain, the last few days, the last week or so, I guess, and including today, has been what I normally internally refer to as squirrely. Like, the heat's getting to me. And my anxiety's gone way, way up. So, like, I just feel a little bit on edge a lot. So I'm kind of battling that at the minute. I was meant to go to my friend's wedding on the weekend, and I couldn't, because I woke up and I was like, oh, if I try and leave the house, I'm going to have a whacking great panic attack. So I sort of didn't, and then that was frustrating, and then, like, I'm fine, but I'm also just a bit like... at the minute, so I'm a little all over the place, but we'll see how far we get with this stream. Let's kick it off with... nope, there it is. There is exactly the paint I was looking for. Here's Warpstone Glow, a good friend of mine. So, this squig has already been painted in this colour, which is Caliban Green, which is a very nice dark green. And then what I'm gonna do is do a mix of these two and start layering it up on top. I think I'm going to leave the belly of this one really dark. In fact, I'm thinking about glazing some black onto it at some point. That should be interesting. But anyway, that's the plan for the start of today. Anyway, Skull and Boots says, ahoy comrades, I've crept in while my boss is out of the room for the next half hour. Johnny, if you could pretend to be giving a talk on immersive tech, that would be cool. Absolutely. What is the deal with immersive tech? Like, where does the definition end? I get in my bath. Is that immersive tech? I'll probably get better at that over the course of the half hour, Skull and Boots, don't worry. Oh. Skull and Boots says nailed it. Yes. Is it immersive tech? That's what I want to know. Like, is immersive... how are we defining immersive tech? Take your glasses off, Johnny, or your eyes are going to start hurting immediately. William Murback has done a super chat saying, older forms of English kept Latin's gender-specific suffixes tor and trix. Tor is for men and trix is for women, so a male pilot is an aviator, a female pilot is an aviatrix, a male fighter is a gladiator, a female fighter is a gladiatrix. This contrasts with the modern system where Tor is for both men and women, and tricks are for kids. There it is, thank you, William. Yeah, when you said tricks, I was like, are for kids? And then I wasn't really sure where to go from there. But yeah, there we go. James Hicks says, "Hey Johnny, have you ever played Blood on the Clock Tower? And if so, what do you reckon?" Yes, I have. And I'll be honest. At first, when it was being described to me, I was like, well, "This just sounds like a werewolf." And then 5 minutes into playing it for the first time, I was like, "This shit's on werewolf. It's great. It's really, really, really good fun." Obviously, like you need large numbers in order to play it. But I think it's very good. William Murdoch says, "Been waiting all weekend for that." Well, you got it in there. I'll say that much. Congratulations. Well done, you. Right, that's a half and half mix of Caliban Green and Warpstone Glow. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually put a drop of Glaze Medium in there for a treat. Little Glaze Medium as a treat. I've got to stop knocking the squig over. What I need to do is stick this to something heavier than this. Levi Coffee says, "Woo, I made it. First oatmeal, then pink horrors. Sounds like a beautiful way to spend your day." Is that a bit heavier? That's heavier. Yeah, we'll use this as our... There we go. That won't fall over as readily. Great. Okie dokie. Where's the Glaze Medium? Hello, welcome to Non-Binary Person. Looks through a box of paints looking for Glaze Medium. So one-off, spin-off series. That's surface primer. That's varnish. That's a different medium. And that's liquid frost. There's some Glaze Medium. Lovely stuff. Emily Hill has done a super sticker. The super sticker is of a peach. But get this, the peach does not look just like a piece of fruit. It also looks like a human ass. Looks like a butt. Looks like a butt, doesn't it? We're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. Right. Nice Witch says, "Never pink horrors before oatmeal. Those are the rules." Exactly. And we abide by them. Right. So, I've got this glaze going on here. That looks alright. And we're just going to start... what I might actually do... Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to wet this paper, fold it over, and we'll actually use that to wipe off a goodly amount of our glaze. So that we're just left with pigment. I kind of regret making this a glaze now, actually. Oh well, it's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. It'll be fine. So how was everyone's weekend? What did you all get up to? Was it nice? Hope it was more fun than mine. Although I did some pretty hardcore sleeping yesterday. I napped. I had about a 6-hour nap, I think. That was pretty good. And then I read a book. Well, some of a book, which was nice. It's been taking me a while to read, but I'm reading Hellbent by Lee Bardugo at the minute, which is the sequel to Ninth House, which is a lovely bit of dark academia. It's all about Yale and secret orders and secret societies and stuff. It's very good fun. Can recommend if you're into that sort of thing. Ibrel506 says, "My weekend has been relaxing. Good. Just Man Bun says I went camping. It was nice." Quixotic Raven says, "So much Tears of the Kingdom. I'm a little worried. I've put it down for the last time, that game, because I'll tell you what, Dead Cells has completely taken over my brain again, like yet again. I'm playing a lot of it, and I have no desire at the minute to play Tears of the Kingdom. And that's not like, that's okay, that's all right. But if I keep this up, then I bet you, I just won't go back to it. It's just a little worrying. Nice Which says, "I worked till up, but managed to finish a really good book I was reading and get some Final Fantasy time in." Well, that sounds pretty good. Nice work. What book were you reading, if I may ask? I'm always on the lookout for fresh book recommendations, so please tell me. And if anyone else has recommendations, those would be very gratefully received. That'd be very nice. Oh, actually, no, it's alright that I did this as a glaze. I think it's actually going to come up quite well, so that's nice. Death of a Bookseller, very good. Around the culture around true crime. Ooh. Oh, I think I've seen that advertised, actually. Mithril has done a super chat saying, going through a rough period, but your streams and the LSPs have been helping loads, so thanks to all of you. No, thanks to... Wait, yeah, so thank you to all of you. Sorry to hear things are rough, but I'm very, very glad that we've come in handy. I have to say, it is. I feel very blessed to have the community that we have on this channel. They're all very, very nice people. And without them, there wouldn't be a community. So, yeah, I wholeheartedly echo your sentiments. And I do hope things start looking up soon. I'm sorry they've been rough. But, yeah, lots of love to you, Mithril, and thank you for the super chat. Emily... Hell, I should be paying here, shouldn't I? Emily Hill's done a super chat saying, I went on a date the other night, and after we redacted, I used the bathroom. When I came out, I said, in England, that's what they call a squeezy wee. Can you believe he wants to see me again? Thanks for the fun terminology. Good for you, Emily, frankly. That sounds delightful. And well done you for making sure you don't get a UTI. Because that's important. Even if you're all sleepy after redacted, it's important to have a wee. And that is what we call a squeezy wee. It's the pee you don't need, but know you should have. That's the best super chat I've had in a long time. Ebro506 says, what genre of books do you like? I like all sorts, really, which I know isn't really helpful. I'm not keen on true crime. I've read a fair bit of fantasy, but I'm kind of moving away from that at the minute because I just find that I've overdosed on it a little bit. I will genuinely consider any recommendations. At the minute, this year rather, I've tried to read a lot more broadly in terms of like global fiction. My partner for Christmas got me a book called This is the Canon, How to Decolonize Your Bookshelf in 50 Novels. And there are some just fantastic recommendations in there. I've read some books that it's unlikely I would have discovered by myself, and they've all been fantastic. And it's just great to to read stories that aren't from Western authors, would you believe? So that's been really, really nice. So yeah, really, I'm open to many a recommendation. Fota Mucker, very good, has done a super chat. It reads as follows. Give me one sec. Hi Johnny and chat, how's everyone doing? Life's kind of annoying and received some bad news from work, but your streams make it better. Life is, as per usual, a bit of a gauntlet, but I'm doing alright, thank you very much. I'm sorry you had some bad news from work. I hope it's not super catastrophic and things level out again soon. But I'm very, very glad these streams are proving useful. It's a pleasure to be able to do them, to be honest. And even though sometimes when I'm not feeling great, I get a bit scared beforehand, and I'm like, oh God, can I really do this? It is always very rewarding to do them, so that's nice. At the minute, I'm just trying to I'm painting this thing green. But it's already green, as you can probably tell, but I'm making it a different green. That's the plan. Nathan says, at the at the risk of sounding like I'm doing an LSP bit, have you read Gideon the Ninth? I have, and I've read Harrow, and I've got a copy of Nona waiting to go, because I found one half price the other day, and I was like, well, I may as well. So yes, we do Bones, motherfucker, etc., etc. The Locked Tomb series is good. I've actually found Harrow a really frustrating read. And all of the memes that were inserted really started to piss me off by the end. But I really liked the first one, so I'm like, I may as well. I've got to finish. I've got to read Nona, so I will. I promise. And I'll share my thoughts, because occasionally I do dip into the books channel of Johnny Kia Discord, and it is there's almost always somebody talking about the Locked Tomb series, which is I think what you were referring to when you were like, at the risk of sounding like I'm doing an LSP bit. You know what? I was annoyed that I'd made this into a glaze, but actually it's coming out lovely. It's a subtle effect thus far, but if I keep going with this, I think it's going to come out real nice. So, William Maguire says, would you perhaps call it a harrowing read? Very good. Well done, William. Oh, my back. Oh. Okay. Okay. There we go. Ronnie's in chat. Hello, Ronnie. Ronnie says, hey there, pals. I'm in here this week with no plans / work. Got a cool job interview in the email today, so that's terrifying and exciting. That's very cool sounding, Ronnie. Congratulations. I hope you get it, needless to say. Even terrifying job news is good job news. When it's good, I guess. Good one, Johnny. Well done. Ooh. Nadia G says, posture check? Yeah, check your posture, everyone. I slept weird on my back last night, which is why my back hurts. But at least the ache is meaning that I'm engaging my core and sitting properly for once, so that's quite nice. Hermit Prime says, how do you make a paint into a glaze? So there are two ways to do it, really. Firstly, there is, where's it gone? Glaze medium. So glaze medium is kind of like, it's an acrylic medium, so you can kind of think of it as paint without pigment. And what it does is it dilutes the paint without kind of breaking up the pigments. So if you imagine, right, now let's imagine it's basically a glaze. It makes the difference between putting just paint on a wall. Glazing is kind of more like, it's kind of more like putting a coloured gel over a light, so you can still see through it. It's translucent, basically. Which means you can build up subtle colour effects, and it's very useful. So using a glaze medium is one way. You can also just make glazes by watering down your paints. The most important step is having some moist towel. So you get a bit on your brush, and this is especially important if you're just using water, but then you kind of touch it to it, and you actually want to remove most of the glaze from your brush, so you're kind of just hitting it with a small but quite intense bit of translucent pigment. It feels really counterintuitive that you're building colour by thinning the paint down and then removing most of the paint from the brush. But as you can hopefully see here, you can still see the shadows from that darker base colour there, kind of coming through from where I've sort of selectively applied this glaze. Like, it doesn't look that stark, but then if you look at that base colour again, that almost looks black by comparison now, which is kind of, it's interesting. It's quite a slow way of painting. It's quite laborious, but it's also very rewarding. And as Alex Simpkins says, Glaze Medium can talk to ghost paints, which is very good. I enjoyed that joke very much. Not that it's about whether or not I enjoy the joke, as this channel has proven time and time again. You lot will joke about anything, and it doesn't really matter whether I like it or not, because that's what's happening. Right, well, that's all gone quite well. What I'm going to do is use a smaller brush and mix up something lighter again from that. Aidan says you not liking it is half the fun. Yeah, probably. Nicer says, do you not always enjoy our jokes? You seem so happy after all of the jokes. I don't know. Yeah, no. I'm being unfairly crass there, aren't I? I do love all of the jokes, well, every last one of them. Right, that's enough out of that brush. That means it's a brush change, babes. We're gonna switch to this synthetic color Citadel small base brush. Like, it's actually held up pretty well because I've used this thing like a lot. And it doesn't hold like as good of a tip as it used to, but it's still like pretty great. And for this, I think it's kind of perfect. So that'd be nice. Right. Iced coffee done. Switching to water. Hydration's really important. Oh, fuck. Right. So now we need less Caliban green. I also need to move my water because now it's in the way. It's actually going to put the mug back. Fascinating. And we need more Warpstone Glow. That's what it is. Oi, 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 oi. Let's try that. Okay, that is basically the same green as I mixed before. So now we need to add more Warpstone Glow to that. Whoops-a-daisy. What I'm actually going to do... Grumson says, I just arrived. Did they say Caliban Green? I did. I watched The Tempest last night. It's my favourite Shakespeare play. It's alright, that one, isn't it? I once saw... Shit, what's his name? Jean-Luc Picard. Patrick Stewart play... Thingy. Wow, I know The Tempest so well. Prospero? He's very good in it. I've also seen him play Mark Antony in Antony and Cleopatra, which was very good. Hi, welcome back to Where's That Paint Gone? Starring non-binary me. Today, Moot Green. There you are. Ding. Right, I'm going to sneak in a tiny bit of Moot Green into this mix, because look at how vibrant that is. Yeah, there we go, that's nice. There we go, that's a bit closer to what I wanted. Okie dokie, alright. And then where's the glaze medium gone? Alright. Alrighty, there we go. Okie dokie. Is this exactly the same colour? No, no, it's not. That's a good deal brighter, Johnny. Calm yourself down. You see, hopefully you can see how this glaze is going on, and it's like... The idea is to create quite a smooth light transition. This may actually, in retrospect, be slightly too big of a step up, but I do want this squig to become very vibrant, and we're going to do more than one coat, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Experimenting is fun. Not quite sure what to do with this kind of almost armoured plating on the back. I think I might go for a slightly different colour for it. Did anyone watch any of the Glastonbury coverage over the weekend? I did not. But I did read a couple of reviews from the festival. One of Royal Blood and one of Guns N' Roses. And they were both hilarious because they tore them to shreds. Apparently Guns N' Roses were fucking awful. Ooh, Nathan says Games Workshop have announced a reveal stream for everything non-40k related. I'm hoping for more news on Big Pig. Big Pig? Remind me of Big Pig. What is Big Pig? Happy Bob says, precisely what I mean to. Everything non-40k includes Blood Bowl, says Methrill. I know. I mean, I'm hoping we'll get a new team announcement. I'm hoping they'll announce new models for the vampires. Or Chaos Dwarves. It'll be vampires, I think, before anything else. But come on, please. Ah, the Iron Jaws giant armoured boar, of course, Nathan. Sorry. Grumson says, Guns N' Roses were awful. At least they're staying consistent then. Exactly. I think Guns N' Roses are bad. There, I said it. Well, it's mostly that I think Axl Rose is a fucking prick. Nathan says, also, I hate to ruin your day, but Blood Bowl isn't on the announcement list. Well, fuck it then. Fuck it. I'm not excited anymore. Not excited about anything anymore. Fuck it. That's alright. We've got Gutter Bowl coming next week. So that'll be nice. Okie dokie. Let's keep going, shall we? Yes, let's. Okay, cool. Why isn't this doing it for me? There we go, that's a bit better. If you got a look at how messy my desk is, then no, you didn't. Say nothing. that's no good either. Right, hang on a sec. Let me just... Sorry, give me 1 sec. I'm just going to configure this video a bit. There we go, that's better. That's a bit better focus. There we go. Hannah Axelson is on a super chat saying, speaking of Cleopatra, she was actually not the most beautiful woman of the ancient world. That's just how Julius Caesar. Very good. I enjoyed that very much. Is it just in Asterix that they make a big deal out of Cleopatra's nose, or was Cleopatra's nose meant to be a big deal in general? I'm not joking at this point. I know they make a big point of talking about Cleopatra's nose in Asterix, but I can't remember if that's something that's also shared in other literature or whether it's just Goscinny and Udezo that made that a thing. My brain is completely fried in that regard. Yeah, I just can't even fucking talk. Oh, Severin Tiger says, I think the nose thing was just an inbreeding joke. Okay. Well then. That's me told. The C in Goscinny is silent. Thank you, Lucy. Nice, which says, who knows? Very good. Scott Hartman says, working currently, so I wanted to offer you a pro tip. If you are using a company's online chat feature, we can read what you are typing before you send the message. What? 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 You just get to see everything, all the keystrokes before they even hit enter. That's ridiculous. I mean, I've never, like, jokingly typed anything and then deleted it. Because, like, I'm too afraid of, like, hitting enter by mistake and saying something rude. But that's a whole big pile of nope. I suppose if it's a proprietary... Oh, that's sneaky. That is sneaky. If it's proprietary tech, I guess, sure, they'll do that. And they're probably within their rights too? Maybe? I don't know. That's fucking weird. Ugh. Oh, I don't love that, I have to say. Nadia G has done a super chat saying, hello Johnny and LSPs, today I celebrate 1 year on HRT, taking this stream as an inspiration to finish painting glow-in-the-dark bees on my rollerblades so I can roll all over gender norms in NB style as a treat. Happy Pride. That is an absolutely stunning super chat. Congrats on your first year on HRT, Nadia. That is fucking tremendous, and Glow-in-the-dark bees on your rollerblades sound absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, you roll all over those gender norms. What a delight. Honestly, thank you so much for A, for a very generous super chat, but B, just like some lovely words to read. That's absolutely fantastic. And Grumson's asked a good question. Would those in fact be NBs? NBs in that case. Makes you think. Makes you think. If you'll permit me just one moment, I need to put a fresh album on in my ears because the one I was listening to has ended. Yep, it's going to be that one. Ducks piloting a mech clone army has done a super chat saying, Hi Johnny and LSPs. Hope all are well. Been enjoying Final Fantasy 16, especially when I play Sid's VA as someone I've met several times. Only took me 10 minutes. Well, that's cool. Big fan of that. I hope you're very much enjoying it. I've heard good things. Final Fantasy just like is not a series I ever really got into, so it's not really my bag. But I wish everyone playing it a very lovely time. Because it's alright if we don't like the same things. It's not an attack on anyone personally, which is nice. Nice, which says, Sid's voice is so bloody good. Well, that's nice. I'm glad it's someone, you know, that Ducks piloting a mech clone army knows and doesn't have to, like, lie to. Like, when I was at uni, the number of times I went to support my friends in plays, and the plays were bad, and I had to sit there being like, okay, I need to think of one good thing to say about this play so I don't upset them. And it was quite a challenge. Root -1 says their performance could have been good in a bad play. Oh yeah, that's what I ended up. That's what I ended up dwelling on a lot of the times. Like you were so good. You were so good, rather than like, hey, this place sucks. You know. All right, that's coming along. Tegan Evans says, hi everyone, have I missed anything good? Nope! Rubbish so far. Awful stream. Hi, welcome aboard. We're painting this big old squig. We started it out with all of it this very dark green, and then we're glazing it up to being lighter on the top. So far that's going okay. Gonna start pushing the colour quite a bit more very soon. Ooh! Jep the Troll Shaman says, I just made my first ever apple pie. Num num num. Congratulations. I hope it's delicious. Right. Hugh says rubbish, but Johnny's performance was so good. Very clever. I enjoyed that. That was funny. Well done, Hugh. Thanks, Hugh. Pleasure as always, Hugh. Nathan says you missed Johnny announcing they're going to kill Daub in an upcoming Ox venture. It's true. I've been paid £2 to do it. All right, here we go. That's a more vibrant green, isn't it? Little water break. Ebrel506 says, no, not Dub. I'm afraid so. Sorry, it's just going to happen. Reese says, question, did the £2 only pay for Dob to die, or does it also cover the method of death? No, it doesn't. It's dealer's choice, basically. We're freestyling it. Grumson says, speaking as the person who's been in a bunch of truly teeth-gnashingly terrible plays, getting reassurance from the audience that the play was indeed awful is always a comfort. You know what? Yeah. I've been in some real shit in my time, and it was really nice to have people just be like, listen, that wasn't good. It's like, thank God, thank you. Thank you for not just lying through your teeth. So, we're going in, as you can see, this is a lighter colour, but we're still putting it on in thin layers. And the plan is, at least the plan is, to start doing it in more select areas to build up the sense of contrast. So the amount we're painting each time is actually getting, with each colour rather, is getting smaller. At least that's the theory. Just another broke nerd says, sorry for an Oxventure question from way back. The lads chant on the stag do. Is that an inside joke? I recall Ellen live streaming AC Black Flag and saying it a lot. Thanks. No, it's not an inside joke. It's as it came up in the live show. They didn't know anything about that kind of stuff, and we'd certainly never done any lads chanting beforehand. I just thought it was funny for a bunch of cultists to be going lads, completely po-faced, and that's where it started. So no, if you go back and watch that, them hearing it on stage is them genuinely hearing it for the first time. So if Ellen's chanting it, then news to me, or saying it a lot, then I have absolutely no idea. That's coming on all right. Oh, and the eccentric lefty makes a good point. It's just what British 20-somethings shout when they're on nights out, unironically, and they sound like total shitheads. Yeah, exactly. It's just, yeah, like, sorry, that was what I was riffing on, yeah. Is that lads are just generically, they just go like, lads, lads, lads. You know, or like lads on tour or lads on tour. So it was less of an inside joke and more of like an observation on British lad culture, if culture is a term we could apply there. Not sure about that glaze I've just done. Yeah, it's going okay. Alex Simpkin is on a super chat saying, Alex Simpkin has done a super chat saying, you previously mentioned that Dob is not a mammal as he is green and mammals in your words don't do green. Does this mean Dob possesses a cloaca? Okay, you've made a couple of leaps there. Firstly, when I was doing the whole mammals can't do green thing, I was talking about fur, and I was basically just imparting something I'd learned from watching a nature documentary, and I had forgotten for the time being that Dob is a half-orc and therefore is green. Hence the lovely moment where he's just like one of my favourite moments in that whole arc. But that was just me forgetting about Dob. That was not me saying Dob is not a mammal. And frankly, I think you just wanted to talk about cloacas. So that's why you leapt further ahead to Dob has cloaca. I don't know what Dob's got under his drawers. It's frankly none of my business. And I completely forgot that there are green mammals in D&D. So that's how we got to that bit, basically. Garena Rain has done a super sticker, and it's a pear with a mug in its hand, and the pear is kind of just constantly doing this, like, look at what I've got, look at what I've got. But it's slightly worrying actually, because the stuff in the mug is a red liquid, and it's quite viscous, and it just puts me in mind of blood. As if the pear has committed a horrible, violent act and has deliberately collected the blood, rather, in the mug, and is now showing it off as, like, a point of pride. It's a little bit disturbing, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, how did this pear come into being? Who made it? Who gave it the shoes? Who taught it how to do things? And why is it doing things like collecting blood in a mug? And why is it so happy about it? It just feels like there was a real dereliction of duty somewhere along the line in the creation and lack of socialization of this thing. And it worries me a bit. There, I said it. Aiden, meanwhile, has done a super sticker of the pair, same pair, no mug of blood this time, but sunglasses, added sunglasses, kind of turning around and going, "Hey, you," quite a lot, which is it's quite sweet, really, in strong, terrifyingly strong contrast to the blood pair. But there we go. Everyone contains multitudes, I suppose. For example, inside that pair is kind of like a cool surfer dude character, but also potentially just a murderer. You know? There that is. There it is. Garena Rain has done a super chat saying, by the way, Garena Rain has now done a super chat after the sticker saying, by the way, Squig is looking fabulous. Thanks. I'm kind of at that stage where I'm a bit like, I don't know if I like where this is going. But I should stay the course. What I might do in a minute is swap out and do a little bit of work on the halflings, just to give my eyes a break so I can tell where to place the next sort of layer of glaze. So I don't just want to paint over everything repeatedly. I want the colours to build up properly, you know? Like, I'm happy with how this is going. This chunk of leg here. But sometimes you need a minute away from the model to sort of see where the next bit's going. So I'll probably quite shortly swap the models I'm working on. Lisa Hunt says, have we considered the blood pair is the possibility the blood pair is part of a whole community of large humanoid fruit persons, and that the hey there pair is not the blood pair? Oh, that's a troubling and alarmingly plausible thought. No, I hadn't considered that at all. Ugh. Worrying. Very worrying. Yeah, I might swap and do some halflings for a bit, just to give my brain a little break from that nonsense. Just Manbun says, do they wear the same clothes? They don't really wear clothes at all, do they? They're in the nip. They're just in shoes and a sweatband. You'd be kicked out of most establishments if you tried to go in like that. Severin Tiger has done a super sticker of the lemon person. The lemon person is different to the pear in that the pear has arms and legs sprouting from the piece of fruit, which we can take to be the head and the torso. But the lemon person just has a lemon for a head, and then has a lemon-coloured body, but it just seems entirely humanoid. Anyway, the lemon person is waving with one arm and then waggling a leg about. The kind of the opposite legs. It's waving with its right arm and waggling its left leg about. Is it winking? Oh, and it's winking. So it's like that, like a haunted fairground exhibit. Jenny Doe, meanwhile, has done a super sticker, which is a piece of pie. The pie filling is red and has little kind of like yellowish bits in it. I don't know where this fits into the kind of canon we've built up here. Like, is it just pie? Or are the yellow bits like bits of the lemon person? Has the lemon person been blitzed and turned into a pie? I don't know. I'm not sure. Nice, which says the lemon person is different to the pear and that we've just randomly decided that they're nice. There's a mug of blood in the pear's hand, Sarah. Oh, great. Everyone's saying it's blood pie. Well, I look forward to that following me around for the rest of my time running this channel. Is that where the pear got them blood for the blood mug, says Neko the kitty. Nice, which says, all in caps, it's not blood. I don't know what to say. Table 9 Studios done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, ages ago I asked about referencing you in an upcoming game. We had our first public demo last week and had over 10,000 players and so much positivity. Thanks for all you do. Congratulations, Table 9 Studio. That sounds like an extremely productive first public demo. I hope it has been illuminating but also encouraging. Like, I hope it's not it's just renewed your enthusiasm to keep working on the project and to take it to its fullest heights, because that sounds great. Right. Now, need to work on this lot. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, I need to layer up the red with some Mephiston red. I can do that. Table 9 Studio says that is a very apt description. Enthusiasm with just a splash of terrifying. Perfect. Perfect. Nice, which is tearing the Skelly Pals a new one right now, I think it is fair to say. It's quite funny. There is... Cat M says, isn't blood pie just black pudding? No, because that's a pudding. Black pudding is a pudding, not a pie. Blood pie is probably a thing somewhere. Ooh, the science boy says, today's project is installing my PC that arrived just an hour ago. Ooh. Congrats on the new PC. That sounds very exciting. Hope you have a long and fruitful life together. And that it just boots first time and doesn't have any problems. Is anyone else crafting along? What else are you all working on today? What's a happening, everyone? Nathan says, painting orcs on pigs the way God intended. Yes. Emma Benton says, I'm building a house in The Sims. Delightful. I've still yet to stream The Sims. I think it would be chaos, but I think it would be fun chaos, so I'm still willing to give it a go. You'll all need to help me, because otherwise I'll just get confused and vaguely frustrated. But I think it would be fun. Just slapped the squig in the face. Sorry, squig. When I come back to this, what I need to do is block in the other things. I need to block in that metal. I need to choose a base colour for these scaly bits. And I need to start working on the mouth. And I'll do that metal. That's what I need to do. Because otherwise, I'm just going to obsess over this skin until I'm unhappy. Oh, Web Giant says it's great saving creative projects for Johnny's painting streams on Mondays. That's very kind. Thank you very much. It's nice to carve out a bit of time in the week to do something creative. I'm trying at the minute to write every day if I can, using the Pomodoro method, which is actually pretty good. I wrote for a total of an hour today, and I managed to get out about 1,200 words, which is pleasingly swift. But yeah, it's hard to build a routine with something that's solely creative, because obviously there's that voice in your head that's like, this should be monetized. Why aren't you working? You know? But it's worth doing. Table 9 Studio says, all these creative things, and here I am writing code to generate and render a bar chart. It's still fun. Well, probably not fun. It's still, productive. Science Boy says, since this install is a bit of a Frankenstein, I'm moving over the brain of the GPU from this PC, what I'm typing on, into the new PC. So I'm logging off right now, and hopefully soon I'll be back in a new PC. Good luck, the Science Boy. Don't forget the thermal paste, or whatever you call it. I think it's thermal paste. It's been a long time since I last built a PC. When I bought a new one, because I needed a new gaming PC to stream, I was like, oh, maybe I could build it myself. And then I thought, I'm going to pay someone to do that for me. So there we go. Right. Aiden says PC components have got so expensive to buy, it can be cheaper to get pre-built. It was at the time, because that was when graphics cards were unavailable unless you bought an entire PC. So yeah, it was definitely worth doing, but still. Yeah, I was also just glad not to have to build the fucker myself. Right. Right. Cool. Cat Treble says, how's the wee potato? Hopefully okay in the heat? Do you mean Watson? Watson's doing fine. It was very hot over the weekend, but the temperatures have calmed down again a bit. I just walked her yesterday evening rather than in the daytime, which was fine. No, she's doing pretty well. I mean, where I walk her, there's a pond that she can paddle in, which is very helpful. So she tends to do that and cool off a bit. And I take water out with me when I walk her, and so she's hydrated and stuff. We're just all a bit sluggish, to be honest. Oh wow, Chemistry Crank says we had some absolutely apocalyptic rain in Manchester the other day. There was a waterfall inside Piccadilly Station. Well, that's not what you want on the inside of a station, is it? That's very inconvenient. Unless you're a fish. And as far as I'm aware, Chemistry Krang is not a fish. But, rain is quite nice when it comes though, isn't it? Although, very much when it rains here, it depends how much we get. Because I walk Watson somewhere where there are a lot of trees and there's also, an amount of water. But if it rains not loads, then all it does is it just makes the trees way more humid. We're walking under the trees and it's just, so close and muggy because it's all evaporating again. But it hasn't brought the main temperature down, which is fucking annoying. But anyway, could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Whoa! James Malcolmson has done an absolutely massive super chat. Thank you very much, James. It reads as follows. Recovering from pneumonia and finally gathered enough stamina to take out the trash. All the dumpsters were overflowing. An angry barking poodle ambushed me on the way back. Thank you for the chill energy. It is a sanctuary from an unpleasant day. That sounds like... Yeah, that sounds extremely unpleasant. Not least because you're recovering from pneumonia. I'm very sorry to hear that you've gone through the ringer with it. I'm glad that things are getting easier, but still, bloody hell, that's a lot to have to deal with. I hope you feel better very, very soon. Because, yeah, that sounds rough. So I'm very, very glad to be streaming and providing some chill vibes after, as you say yourself, an unpleasant day. Hopefully you can just chill out for the rest. And, yeah, just try and get your energy reserves back up. Oofed. I mean, taking out the rubbish is never, ever, ever fun anyway. And doing it when you're recovering from pneumonia and there's a poodle going nuts at you, that's really not fun for anybody, really. So yeah, feel better. And thank you again for a really, really generous super chat. That's very kind. Right. So, let's get back to this squig. Yeah, okay. Fucking hell. Welcome back to Non-Binary Purd. Never mind, I found it. Right. Wings of Eternia has done a super chat saying, "Oh, that's really nice." Wings of Eternia has done a super chat saying, "Please accept this humble offering from those whose lives you make better by being you." Off to VOD I go. That is extremely kind, Wings of Eternia. I'm not good with praise, but that's some lovely praise. Thank you. I'm glad to be able to make a difference, especially at times when I myself am having a bit of a time. I'm very glad to make a positive impact, however small, for people. That is very nice and affirming. Yeah, blocking in the rest of the base colours on this is really going to help me put that skin into perspective, I think. Including this metal mask thing that this particular mangler squig is wearing. There we go. Little pink gums. Little pink gums. And then we're going to paint the teeth brown. Severn Tiger said, a friend of mine in the Nottinghamshire area said the humidity got so bad he had to chew the air before breathing. Goodness me. Oh, hello. Emma Benton says, oh my god, there's going to be a Barbie collab with Forza Horizon 5. Now that sounds interesting. Chemistry Krang says, yeah, in the UK right now it's not air, it's low pressure steam. Yeah, pretty much. And we don't have AC in homes. No, we don't. It's shit house. Defect says the kids want to go swim, so off to the beach. Bye for now. That sounds great. Have a great time, Defect. Say hello to the sea for me. It's quite nice just to be like, oh fuck it, the kids want to go swim, so we're off to the beach. Bam! That's delightful. There's some powerful Monday energy right there. Jazz says I live a 2-minute bus ride from the beach. It really is lovely. God, that sounds great. Very nice. One of my favourite things to do if we ever had like nights out in Brighton back when I worked at Eurogamer, after a certain amount of time, I'd inevitably be like, I want to go throw rocks in the sea. My leaving drinks from Eurogamer, actually, we'd been to a bar and then we'd been to a bar, and then people went, what do you want to do now? And I went, I want to throw rocks at the sea. Everyone was like, right, cool, great. So we just went to the beach and just stood there and just lobbing pebbles into the water. It was delightful. I really enjoyed it. Cat from the Kong has done a super sticker. The super sticker is of the pair, or possibly one of the pairs. Now that we're discussing this terrifying possibility that there's more than one of them, possibly that they are legion. But this particular pair has balled up both of its little fists and is kind of just doing that like repeatedly. But there's writing on the pair's knucks, and they say fist bump. So it's like we're getting a constant stream of annotated fist bumps, which is very nice, really. Thank you very much, Kat. Fist bump to you also. I hope you're very well and you had a lovely weekend and that your week is treating you well so far. What is that little bit? Oh, it's a bit of metal. It's got like a lip ring. It's got 2 lip rings. Look at this little thing. Dukey Bobbin says, what did the sea do to you? Nothing. Nothing lately, anyway. They're just nice to throw rocks at it sometimes. They go bloop. It's therapeutic, really. Bloop. Sometimes even just saying bloop to yourself is quite nice. Give it a go. Just bloop. Good fun. Say that. Cheer you right up. Bloop. I missed a tooth. Okay. Cool. Cat from the Kong says, actually finally finished my massive international move, so the weekend was golden. Congratulations, Cat. That's wonderful. I hope you're settling in really nicely and you're just getting to rest a bit. Because, woof, moving, as we've said before, moving, hard. International moving, ridiculous. Preposterous. Manuel Rivera says, not very therapeutic to the fishes hit in the head. I mean, I think you're overestimating how good of a shot I am. Actually, I wasn't even aiming at anything. They're probably fine. Right. There we go. Oh, I should have painted this horn brown as well. I'll do that in a moment. Here we go. Little mask for a squig. It's adorable, really. I'm going to make it all rusty. Because I figure the goblins who keep the squigs probably don't get close enough to give them a proper clean very often. There we go. Lovely. Starting to feel a bit more cohesive as a whole. Already that skin looks less like it's sticking out like a sore thumb, which is very nice. So, the question is, I think I might go for browns on this. Cat Treadwell says, have you seen the giant plushie at Warhammer World, Nigel the Nurgling? Yes, I have. They've got another one of those in the window of the Tottenham Court Road Games Workshop. But yes, I've met Nigel the Nurgling. It's very nice. I've been really craving a return trip to Warhammer World, actually, given that I only went a few months ago, if that. It's very soon for me to be really craving another go, but I want to go back. It's just nice there. It's fun. And there was some surprisingly good mini golf that we did in Nottingham because we were on a stag do. Lost City Adventure Golf. It's a thumbs up from me. It's really fun. I've completely watered down that brown too much. Also, I forgot to base coat this horn. Nathan says, you'll be welcome the next time we organise a ham meet. Oh, yeah. But of course. Delightful ham meet. The last one seemed like a lot of fun. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Cat Treadwell says, I live near Warhammer World. Luxury, not for the wallet, no. Though. No, indeed, not for the wallet. And the eccentric lefty says, gonna have to duck out. I'm not in the right headspace for a chill stream today. I need more chaos to distract from the chaos in my brain. Totally fair, I hope you feel better soon. And I hope that you find something thoroughly chaotic to watch that does you a solid. I'll see you around. But yeah, take care of yourself. Lots of love. Right, here we go. Let's get... That's... Yeah, okay. Let's paint some of these sort of scaly bits. Starting to look a little bit like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and you won't hear me complaining. I had a conversation with my partner recently, actually, over which Ninja Turtle I would be. I reminded them of the different turtles and their respective roles, Which is, of course, Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. Raphael is cool but rude. Give me a break. Michelangelo is a party dude. We agreed that I'd be Raphael. I can't remember if it's rude or crude. But I'm Raphael basically. Cool but crude. Which Ninja Turtle would you be? I asked some of my friends, and the first response I got was, I'd be Casey Jones, which isn't a turtle. William Maguire says, I could have sworn they used to be called Hero Turtles. They did. They were referred to as both, because I think they were worried that calling them Ninja Turtles would promote violence, whereas Hero Turtles is all fine and good. So the like that one was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, and then the films were Ninja Turtles. Nice, which says I am Michelangelo, obviously. Yeah, of course. The first time I ever met you, you were spinning around on your back on a dance floor and yelling "Party!" Aiden says there was a massive fuss about throwing stars at the time. I remember that. That was wild. Does anyone remember when, like, it was a really big furore, as you might imagine, actually, where basically in some 99p shops in the UK, they were selling a Power Rangers juice drink, which obviously kids wanted to drink because it was a juice drink, right? And it was like packaged up in cartons, and it had the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on it. And it was 4% alcohol by volume. There was a thing where they were just like, how... Like, literally, the tabloids, as you can imagine, went ballistic. They were like, how the fuck has a 4%, like, boozy Power Rangers Alcopop made it to the shelves in the UK? Because loads of parents bought it for their kids. Because when your kids are like, hey, can I have this juice box? And it was packaged as a juice box. They're like, hey, can I have this juice box? And it's got like Peppa Pig on it or whatever. You go, yeah. What you don't do is, let me just check and see if it's alcoholic. It was extremely funny. I remember seeing a carton when I was a kid. Like, the news had already broken. We were like, wow, that's weird. And then I remember seeing a carton and being like, oh my god, it's actually here. I didn't ask my parents for it. I was with my mum at the time, and I didn't ask her because she already knew about it. And also, like, I was young enough to, like, not be like, oh, I want to get down on the alcoholic Power Rangers juice. Like, I wasn't even curious about alcohol at that age. But it was very funny. It was absolutely wild. Minor Moses says Eastern European inconspicuous whistling. Hey, look. I didn't say anything. But it was very, very, very funny. Yeah, this brown was a good choice. That's going to be a leather belt, so I'll block that in a minute. I'm just going to do these two lines of scales, whatever you want to call them, and then I need to put some more music in my ears because that album's finished as well. What time is it? 24 past 5. Grumson says, Johnny, the modern-day Dionysus, not being curious about alcohol yet, feels like an oxymoron. I mean, Dionysus probably had to learn to do other shit before he became Dionysus, right? Like, in the fullest form. Modern-day Dionysus. Oh, dear. Oof. Is that the reputation I'm putting out there for myself? Oh. In fairness, Dionysus, good boons in Hades. Zagreus, ma. Let's stack loads of hangover onto your enemies. Yeah. Just a good fun guy, you know? Right. That's not bad for a base coat. I'm going to shade those scales because there's a lot of ridges on them and I want to really accentuate it, but yeah, it's looking all right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. You know what? I could do with a 5-minute break. So let's have one, shall we? Because I don't know if I can make a full 4 hours of streaming today. We'll have to see. Because I'm feeling a little bit queasy and just a bit in general. But yeah, let's take 5 minutes. So I'm going to get some water and I'm going to nip to the toilet and just have a stretch. How about you? When was the last time you got up and had a stretch and moved around a little bit? Maybe consider doing that. Or, you know, if you're too warm or you're too cold or you need a snack or, you know, you need to take some medication or something, if there's anything you need to do in the next 5 minutes, do it. And then we'll come back and we'll paint some more squig. So I'll be back in 5 and I will catch you then. Be right back. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to this stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. That is who I am. I am Johnny Chiodini. And today we are painting a mangler squig. The other half of a mangler squig. So this is one half. That's going to go sort of up there like that. And then attached to it by a chain will be this one. So we need to keep painting it, really. This one's so vibrant compared to this one. But that's okay. We'll just keep working on it. It'll be nice. We can keep going. A good time. A good time had by all. I hope the break was nice for you. I hope you're all feeling good. Q says, what brush are we using today? I'm so glad you asked. This is a Green Stuff World Synthetic Zero. It's just a really good base brush. So, that's nice for me. Just going to keep blocking in the base colours on this big old squig. Manuel Rivera says, just realised Johnny does not wear glasses to paint. I don't, on account of being short-sighted, so wearing glasses while I paint is actually counterproductive. It took me a while to work it out. I used to be painting and then my eyes would literally go cross-eyed and like I wouldn't be able to see properly, and I'd have to sort of I'd have to look up and look at something in the distance for bloody ages until my eyesight went back to normal. And then I was like, well, hang on a minute, maybe if I just take off my glasses, that won't happen so often. And lo and behold, it was a lot better. Mothman Sandoval says, the way you came back makes you sound like a smooth jazz radio host. Hi, welcome back to Painting a Mangler Squig with me, Johnny Chiodini, on Painting a Mangler Squig FM. Don't touch that dial. Right now, we're enjoying a bit of rhinox hide here on this leather belt. Have you ever seen a rhinox? Call in, let us know. We'll also be reading out some of your emails later, after the news, which will be read by a goblin. Yeah, it was going well until it wasn't. Like most things, really. Yeah, Batty Wrongleg says, painting a Squig FM, I was calling an ambulance. Yeah, wow. Killer Frequency, what a game. That was very, very good fun. I really enjoyed streaming that. Yeah, this is looking a lot more sort of cohesive now that those colours have been blocked in, which is very nice. And then once I've done the leather here, there's plenty of metal that I need to do. Like this spike and the chain around here and the clasp under here. And the metal under here. Oh look, the leather under here. Just so much to paint when there's a big model, hey? Oh, Steve Clapton says, never seen a rhinox as they always hide. Very good, Steve. Very good. Oh yeah, Grumson says, adding to my Johnny is Dionysus argument, I seem to remember you playing the last hours of Killer Frequency fueled by adrenaline and boxed wine. Yes, I did get the boxed wine out, didn't I? I just needed a little glass of wine, and I think that's okay from time to time. Okay, cool. Cat from the Kong says, cool idea with the bottle as a handle. Is that new? No. So what I do a lot, for example, when I painted this guy, I still haven't based it, is just using a big pot to use as a paint handle. But this model is bigger and heavier. So with one of these, especially since these are basically empty, which is why I'm using this one, and I was using this one, which is even more empty and therefore lighter, this was toppling over. So basically, bottle of airbrush thinner, heavier, more effective. Grumson says it wasn't a criticism, it was glorious. Oh no, I didn't take it as a criticism at all. I just had forgotten that I drank quite a lot of box wine. Nice, it says, bottle as a handle, that's a paddling. That's one of my favourite bits of The Simpsons. It's just so ridiculous. You better believe that's a paddling. Cool. Jolly good. Nice, which says, moon pie. What a time to be alive. I forgot about Jasper getting frozen. It's very fun. It's a good show when it's good, isn't it? The Simpsons. I've completely overwatered that fucking paint there, haven't I? Let's start again. But excuse me. Gigi Rollins says box wine is only suitable for sangria. Yes, I am a wine snob. I don't know enough about wine to share the same belief. So box wine is a good friend o' mine. In fact, a few times recently I've been hanging out with some pals to play like board games, and because it's summer, everyone's turned up with like a bottle of white wine. And they were around mine the other day, and my friend Joe brought quite a nice bottle of white wine, and I had a little bit of it, and then I went to the fridge to get myself some box wine, and he was like, what are you doing? There's loads of this left. And I was like, Joe, that wine is lost on me. It is nice white wine, and I am not appreciating it enough. So I stuck to my guns. I got back in my box, specifically my box wine. And then that's happened again recently, where like there's been a nice bottle of wine. I'm like, no, I'll have the bad one. Beer, I absolutely know what I'm doing. Whiskey, I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I like, and I know what I don't like. Wine has to be really quite atrocious before I won't drink it. Emma Bless says, I'm a beer snob and picky about it, but I'm a wine opportunist mostly. Opportunist? I'm an equal opportunity wine enjoyer. That's the thing, it's like, it's quite nice to just like, white wine, I'm just not picky. And that's quite nice. Because like, you know, once you've developed a snooty disposition about beer and cider and whiskey. It's like, come on. How deep does this go? Quinn Gray says, what do you like in your whiskey? A lot of smoke and a lot of peat. So my favourites are like Lafroig. Basically any Spey whiskies. Not Spey. Shit. Isla? But yeah, Lafroigs. You really... It's like being smacked in the face by a tarmacking machine. Those ones. Yeah, Spey whiskies are a lot milder. I like a Spey whiskey as well, but mostly I'm an Isla whiskey fan. Mothman Sandoval says, Johnny, thoughts on maple flavoured whiskey? I'm not against it, but it sounds too sweet for me. Like, I'm very wary of, like, all the different varieties of Jack Daniels, for example. I mean, I also don't like Jack Daniels. Number one, it's not bourbon. It's a sour mash, actually. And two, I just think it's chronically overrated. So when they're like, it's honey, JD, I'm like, fuck off. But as a base idea, sure. You want maple flavoured whiskey? I'm not going to stop you. Have a nice time. Enjoy. Corvus Albright's done a super chat saying, Mead brewing haiku for Mead brewing haiku time. Aging homemade mead. No idea what I'm doing, but it sure is fun. Aw, that's really sweet, Corvus. And, you know, listen, if you can take comfort from it, you may not know what you're doing, but it's mead, you know? Like, no matter what you do, it's going to taste like shit anyway. It's going to taste awful, because mead is disgusting. So don't worry about it. It's fine. I fucking hate mead. It really should be very on brand for me to love mead, and I just think it's disgusting. It just tastes like really awful imitation Red Bull. And people are like, but it's the oldest booze. It's like, yeah, and then people quickly moved on to making beer and stuck with that. Fucking mead. I just don't like it. Kunigan says, no! See, this is the thing. Every time I say I hate mead, it shatters one person's illusion of me. Because, look at me. Like, I should be sucking that stuff down by the gallon. Mead should be right up my street. And it's just gross. I remember my brother got me a bottle of it for Christmas one year. And I was studying a lot of medieval literature at the time. Like, I love medieval literature. And I was like, yeah. Like, I'm a medievalist. I want to try mead. I hope it's great. It wasn't. Corvus Albright says, sorry to hear that your opinion is wrong, my dear. Right, so here's the thing. I will say, like, if you ever see me try mead, and I do try it again, like, I do try it every now and then. Basically, when I'm offered it, I will try some just to see if I've changed my mind. But you'll see me just being like, is it going to be nice? And sometimes there's a split second where I'm like, that's almost... And then I'm just like, no, it's shit. It's awful. It's piss. And it's genuinely a little disappointing because again, I should like it. It would be very on brand for me. Like at my friend's birthday, he had a really nice bottle of mead, and he was like, I want you to try some of this. I was like, I'm going to hate it. He was like, I know, but I think this might be the one to break through to you. And I was like, okay. And I tried it, and I was like, that's awful. That's dreadful. I'll try, but I'll hate it. So, yeah, I missed another bit of metal. So there we go. That's me and Mead, anyway. I think I missed a bit when I was putting this model together, because you can see there's a spike here on this collar, and there's 2 more holes. Where are the spikes, Johnny? Did you forget to put those on? Are you going to have to paint those up separately and glue them in with super glue? Because you're silly? I think so. That'll be a pain in the ass. Covers all writs, as I say, with all the jest in the world. Oh no, like I knew you. I knew you were like jesting, but I just think Mead's awful. Da-na-na-na-na. Apologies to all the Mead enjoyers out there. Right. I'm going to put some shade on these back things, plates, whatever they're called, whatever we want to call them. I'm also going to paint the underside of these too because I missed them a little bit. And then we'll see what sort of colour that comes out as. Brown, probably. Yep. Good. Really throwing those sentences together in expert fashion there, Johnny. All right. Alison Vassabar has done a super chat saying, I guess I need to start doing crim since I realised I'm envy. And it does a yellow heart emoji, a white heart emoji, a purple heart emoji, and a black heart emoji. Let's get this on the go. Fucking yes, Alison! Congratulations, welcome to the club. It's good fun. That is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on the discovery and coming out, and I hope it's been nothing but euphoric for you. And I hope you start doing some lovely crimes very soon. That's absolutely phenomenal stuff. Well done. Oh, that's tremendous. Raid Shade. Where's the... that's Black Templar. Agrax Earth Shade. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Anna C says, hi LSPs, can't stay, but had to come say happy Pride to all. Happy Pride to you, Anna. Hope to catch you soon. I hope you're having a lovely day and that your week goes absolutely swimmingly. There, I said it. Right, there we go. That's helped a little bit. Paint the little mouth. It's not so little, really. It's quite big on a mangler squig, isn't it? What a lovely chat. What lovely responses. You're all good people. Well done. Hugh says if it goes swimmingly, make sure not to go too near where Johnny is throwing all their stones into the ocean. I've not been to Brighton in ages. I haven't thrown any rocks in the sea in a while. I guess the last time I did it was in Cornwall. Like, I'm not, like, maliciously pelting the sea. Although it would be on brand. You know what? I take it all back. Yeah, be careful if I'm near the sea. I feel like everyone should be careful around the sea in general. It is a terrifying place. I'm just trying to illustrate that. By throwing rocks around. Ah, Roswell Walton says, had to explain to my mum what a giant squig was. She thinks they're cute. Ah, guess I'm doing an alright job then. Good. I am having fun painting this, I have to say. Here's some pale sand, everybody. What else am I going to throw in there, though? Not Kislev flesh. Tiny bit of this guy. Oh, great. Tried to squeeze the tiniest bit of paint out and farted loads of it onto the palette. Well done, Johnny. Right then. Corvus Albright has done a super chat saying sometimes the sea needs a good spanking too. Well, alright. Thanks, Corvus. It's not really the way I was envisaging. But you know what? Yeah, no, that's fine. Sure it does. That's too watered down, Johnny. Sort it out. That's better. This bit is always quite nerve-wracking because like the paint goes on quite patchy over this dark base colour, and I worry that I'm wrecking it. But then the process hasn't let me down so far, so I just need to be calm about it. Okay. Ah, Vivian Leong is in chat. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're very well. I'm okay. Painting a big old squig. Teeth, 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 teeth. Ah, Mrs. On for the wins in chat. The never-ending squigs. Aha, aha. Oh wait, is that a never-ending story reference? Because I can't remember the way that theme goes. I don't think I've ever seen the never-ending story. There, I said it. Just don't think I ever watched it as a kid. But hello, Mr. Tom for the win is what I'm driving at here. I hope you're very well. You seem well from what I've seen on social media. That is a never-ending story reference. At least I knew that it was a reference to that, even if I've not actually seen the source material. Yeah, I thought some people were going to be thrown by that. Emma Benton says, I've not seen it in a long time. All I remember is that traumatizing scene with the horse. I've seen the scene with the horse. Because, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Can't believe that's in there. Right, those are all the teeth kind of like base coated. As you can see, the paint's coming through quite patchy, but actually we don't hate that because we're going to transition to a lighter colour. Aiden says, I saw it in the cinema. I was traumatised. So this is the thing. Everyone's like, you've not seen that film? It shit me up. It's like, oh, okay, well, I probably won't watch it then. Like, Mr. Tom for the Win says, we're okay with traumatising kids via the medium of supposedly suitable movies back in the day. I know, right? There's some pretty adult stuff in Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Including Dan Aykroyd getting blown by a ghost. No one talks about that, do they? When they made an all-female Ghostbusters and they were like, oh, ruining my childhood. Oh, it's not suitable cinema. Blah, 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 blah. Dan Aykroyd gets blown by a ghost. In a montage. Well, he's in like a room with the rest of the Ghostbusters and they're all asleep. So, yep. That's something you can never unlearn. You're welcome, everyone. Hugh has done... This is Hugh's first ever super chat. Congratulations and thank you, Hugh. Hugh says the ocean is so vast and dangerous that the Norwegians have developed a system to keep track of all their ships. You stop that, Hugh. I'll throw a rock at you next time I see you. We've met before. You don't know for sure that I can't remember your face. It's going to keep a rock on me for the rest of my life now in case I run into Hugh. Actually, that's a joke. I feel I ought to say, for legal reasons, I ought to say that's a joke. In retrospect, that wasn't a very gracious way to respond to someone's first ever super chat. Hugh, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm honoured that you spent your first one with me. Reese says, "Oceans are now battlefields." Yeah, yeah, they are. Bloody love the Master and Commander meta. All right, there we go. Teeth. It's coming together quite nicely now, actually. Oh, balls. Completely forgot to do the horn, didn't I? Ooh. We're getting there, aren't we? We are getting there. Right. I feel comfortable going back to the skin now to try and layer it up some more, which is nice. We're going to go in with basically undiluted moot green now, which is going to be interesting. But Johnny, where will you go from there? Well, if we need it, I might mix in a tiny bit of a bright yellow to really give this a final highlight. We will see. We will see what we get. Vivian Leong says, does squig live on bottle or is that for painting ease? Painting ease. It's blue tacked onto it. Makes it much, much easier to sort of just hold and control and just not be touching my own paint job for the whole time. Right. Let's see. Oh, that's bright. Yeah, that's bright, sure enough. All right. Trying to be much more selective with this. So it really is just like emphasizing certain bits of the model that I want the light to be hitting the strongest. Nice, there we go. Another fresh album, please. Oh, it was time to be real 40 minutes ago. There you go. And let's see now. What am I going to listen to? Ow. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Chemistry Crank, so see you next time, LSPs and Johnny. Oh, in order to make dinner before D&D later. Yes, that makes sense. You should eat. Converting food into chemical energy for your body is very important. Have a lovely time with D&D. And thank you so much for being a part of this stream. It's been a good giggle thus far. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely time. Just your size. I don't wear it out. Okay. So hopefully you can see the difference. That should look a lot flatter than that. That should look a lot flatter than that. And then what we're going to do is do it to the other side. So they don't look flat at all. Actually didn't do the lip properly. Root -1 says, when Johnny checks out their paint job through the camera, it feels like they're gazing lovingly at us. Who says I'm not? It is mostly me checking out the paint job, in fairness. But you can take from that whatever you will. Hugh says Johnny is staring at me to judge distance and wind interference for their stone throwing. No comment, Hugh. I'm not going to incriminate myself that easily, Hugh. No, thank you. Oh, Hugh says I'll turn up in protective gear at MCM next time. I'll just bring a bigger rock, Hugh. Haha, a joke. Launch a bowling ball at Hugh. Now hopefully this side won't look flatter than that side. It sort of still does. But we'll keep going until they look about the same. Anonymous says, "What if Hugh brings some paper, eh? What then, Johnny? What then?" Well, I'll see him in Valhalla, won't I? Hmm? No, I'm kidding. I'll see him in hell. Who am I kidding? Squig, squig, squig. Squig, squig, squig. Two squigs, squig, squigs. Yeah, I do want to do one last colour highlight to really push this green one so it doesn't look too muted next to the very lemon one. Squig. Squig. Good. All right. Tell you what we'll do. We'll get a tiny bit of yellow in there. Bit of phalanx yellow into the green. Ooh, that's too much. No, it's not. That's fine. Going to be very selective with this now. Cat from the Kong says, "Do you ever highlight with shimmer, Johnny?" With what, sorry? I'm not sure I understand. What is shimmer? If the response to this is not much, what's shimmer with you, or something similar, then fair play. Because I will have walked straight into that one. Oh, with glittery paint. No. I'd never really considered it. Garina Rain says, dinner time. Have fun with the rest of the stream, Skellies. Take care, Garina. Thank you for, well, thank you for the super chat and begrudgingly for the super sticker. Manuel Rivera says, never seen you use contrast or speed paints, Johnny. Any specific reason? I use them. I don't use them to, like, base or layer. I sometimes use them to base coat, actually. I prefer to use them as, like, turbo washes. So actually, these halflings, the cloth was done with a mix of Talisar Blue and Black Templar, and then I dry brushed over a black highlight, a black base coat. Sorry. Basically, I like using them as as like I say, like washes really, rather than for paints. But I think that's partly because at the minute I'm on a real kick of trying to improve my layering, which is why I've gone back to trying to use glazes and stuff like that, because I want nice smooth paint jobs and stuff like that. It's just like my own personal preference, I guess. But I am really impressed with Imperial Fists. That is a really, really great contrast paint. I used that on these fellows. So this is actually these trousers were done with a base coat of Phalanx Yellow, and then Imperial Fist as a wash, and then Phalanx Yellow again to highlight. And this is good fun. Okay. I'm going to do a tiny bit of work on this face. But I think, largely speaking, we're there with this squig skin. Or at least I don't want to do more work on it in this sitting, because I will get obsessed with trying to make it work and I'll just overdo it. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. What I'll do then is I'll work on the face mask and this bit of metal here. Nick Jeffrey says, hi Johnny, hope you're good. Just joined the stream after completing a shopping quest. Wanted to say I started playing Inscription yesterday, free to PS Plus subs. Loving it. Isn't it so good? I keep meaning to finish it. A friend of mine's playing it, and I was just like, I want you to keep texting me as you play. And sure enough, he bloody loves it. It's so good. Yeah, alright, cool. Quinn Gray says, I need to practice real techniques instead of what I do, which is just vibe until it works. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, Quinn. Especially with mini painting. There is no, like, wrong approach. And if vibing until it works is what you enjoy, then do it. You know, looking into other techniques is kind of interesting, because it does sort of... It will give you insights into your own processes. And actually, what I've found is trying someone else's technique and like trying to follow like a proper recipe and, you know, basically trying to follow a tutorial has been really interesting for me, because it's given me more confidence in the way I do things. And sure, it's changed the way I do things, but it doesn't mean that I've gone like, now my technique is this, which I learned from blah. It's more like it's given me more to think about in terms of layering. Like the I used to paint really quick, and my layers were just quite visible and sloppy, which from afar actually I really liked the effect, but like it bothered me that none of my work photographed well, etc, etc. So I challenged myself to make smoother transitions, which has brought me more in line with sort of more conventional hobby painting, I think. But also, I quite like what I'm doing. So, right, let us get out our, frankly, our new best friend, which is Heavy Rust from Vallejo. It's a fantastic paint. And it is there. This guy, Dark Rust, sorry. It's tremendous. That's the wrong end of the brush, Johnny. That's a first for me, dipping the wrong end of the brush in the paint water. Right. Dark Rust. My very good friend. What I've discovered is, well, you can probably see it for yourselves, this mask is very pitted. It's meant to look really dinged up. So we're going to be quite liberal with the Dark Rust. And then we're going to glaze some orange onto it. Make it look rusted as well as pitted. Well, it's already looking rusted, but very rusted. Okay. And also we'll hit some of this nonsense. Definitely this guy. I'll whack it all over there, actually. Do. Now just take some of that sheen off, really. Cool. Okay. Alyssa says friendship ended with pale sand. Oh no, goodness. No, what am I saying? No. Dark Rust is our lovely new friend, but it doesn't make it our best friend. Best friend's still pale sand, obviously. Pale sand forever. Right. Really want to make the eyes look rusted so they stick out a bit more. So I'm going quite heavy with it on the eyes. And then I'll put some other bits on, but not quite so many. There we go. Let's see how that stacks up. Yeah, it's quite fun, really. They look quite fun together. Neato! Hooray! Now, I didn't actually do anything to the underside of this guy, but I think that's kind of alright, that it just looks very dark. I kind of don't hate that. Yeah, it's fine. Phew. Cool. All right. I'm tempted to start on some of the goblins that are riding on these mangler squigs, but what I might do is just go back to these halflings and do some more work on them. Let's see how we get on. I'll pull a couple out just in case. Oops. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. So we've got 3 goblins. Like this guy's like riding on the mangler squig. That's a loon boss. This one's meant to be just about hanging on as it's flying along. This one is holding the reins and looking really menacing. We'll see. I'm going to work on these halflings for a bit, and then if they're irritating me, then I'll I'll do some work on the words are so hard. Goblins. Right, but first I need to pee again because I'm drinking a lot of water today. I'm not going to go to the Be Right Back screen. I'm just going to mute my mic. I'll be right back. Hello. I'm back. Jenny Doe says, quick, everyone hide. You better hide. Why are we hiding? You're probably all fine, don't worry. Oh, that's too bright. Shit. Fuck, 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 fuck. Dum, 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 dum. Everyone acts normal, says Emma Benton. Pretend nothing has happened, says Jenny Doe. Dang it, all of you. Now I'm suspicious, and I think that was your intent. Suspicious. Is that even the one I was painting? No, it's that one. Oh no, it's just too bright. I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it. Okay, that's fine. That's all right. Good, it's fine. Panic over. Don't worry, everyone. But I am going to get slightly different brown out onto the palette now. Because I've learned a lesson. What was the lesson? Don't do that. Yep, you're all doing a really good job of covering your tracks there, chat. I'm not suspicious at all. You're fine. Let's get back to normal-ish. I mean, normal is a relative term, obviously, isn't it? Nadia G says, how do I normal? Indeed. If I may be so bold, mood. Okie dokie. Nicholas Arrowleaf says, Toodles, off to the shops. Take care, Skillies. Take care, Nicholas. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I need to move this squig because I keep bashing it with my hand. Up you go, squig. I'll deal with you some more in a bit. Oh, what time is it? 20 to 7. Okie dokie. Ah, Rob C says, just dropped in on my way home. Squig is looking good. Thank you. I'm now painting some halflings. Just for shits and giggles. Well, for gutter bowl. That's too much paint on your face. They said, applying more paint to the model. William Maguire says, have you got round to playing the Lies of P demo yet? You mentioned it a few weeks ago and I was curious of your thoughts upon the matter. If you have played it, that is. I haven't, unfortunately. I've still not got round to it. At the moment, and I suspect it's because my mental health is quite up and down at the minute, I am playing just so much Dead Cells. Dead Cells is my go-to game when I just need to switch my brain off. I find it very, very soothing. But it means that I'm not really playing many other video games right now. But I do mean to get round to the Lies of P. So I do hear great things. Oi, 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 oi. maybe I'm not going to work more on these halflings. Let's... Yeah, I thought that might happen. Not quite in the mood for halflings right now. So back up they go. Let's work on a bit more mangler squig stuff. Zachary Smith says, what is Dead Cells? It's a roguelike published by Devolver, where you are a prisoner trying to break out of their prison and eventually go and kill the king on an island that's like racked with disease and is very bleak. It is a great, great, great video game. You did spell it correctly, Zachary. It's wonderful, and you unlock more. You basically kill enemies and you harvest cells from them, which are like they're like a currency, and you spend that currency to unlock new like abilities and new weapons and stuff like that. It is great. It is supremely good. Right, because my brain's a little bit fried, we're gonna just go back to doing real easy stuff. This is the chain that will be attaching one of the mangler squigs to the other. So like half of this goes in the belly of one of them, and then I'm not sure where the other bit attaches, but basically it's going to help one of those squigs just be on top. It's very, very clever. But we need to paint it. Web Giant says, oh, so Dead Cells is like Soulsborne in currency type. Kind of. As you go through, you get money, which you can spend in the shop to buy new weapons. But if you want to unlock things, what you find are blueprints, and you take those between levels to a guy called the Collector. And basically, if you successfully get a blueprint to the Collector, you can spend your cells the next time you see him to you can put them towards unlocking that blueprint, which basically means that that weapon will start randomly spawning in game. So it's not that Souls-likey. It's not like if you drop your cells, they'll be there on the next run. Like when you drop your cells, you're dead. That's it. Game over. Start again. But it being a roguelike, you know, it is very much a kind of get up, try again kind of thing. I think it's a great game. I really, really love it. Cat M has done a super chat saying, if Rust on the Harbour could count as rust brown paint, would you ever make a relative with sand in the name to honour the desert sand paint? Pale... Oh, I see. Rust on the Harbour. And then pale... So, oh, I guess this would be dark rust on the harbour. And pale sand is the other one. So it would probably be like... Sand on the harbour maybe, or sand in the... Sand in the cove? Yeah, it would be something like that, wouldn't it? Lovely rust on the harbour. My precious himbo. Ooh, Nick Jeffrey suggests sand at the Oasis, which isn't bad. Although that does sound quite a lot like an emo band. Sand at the disco. Right, I'm just going to put another... Mithril says, Fahaba. Fahaba. Right, put another album on. Here we go. If I'd thought about it, I could have just used silver spray paint to base coat this, but here we are, I didn't. Reese says, so Johnny, what is Rust up to at the moment in Geth? Has he got a nice shiny gold piece? Oh, I hope so. He's probably off doing more sellsword work. You know how he rolls. He's a pretty happy-go-lucky kind of guy. He's probably having a good rest after the adventure in Uh, insert fucking Idle Champions presents Fury of the Black Rose. That was pretty full on for him, to be honest with you. Words are hard, you know, they're just difficult. Is that a rock or is that metal? It's a rock, I think. Or I could just paint it like metal. No one would know. Yeah, why not? Cat M says, I do miss Rust. Need more of him. True. Well, I mean, he'll be back. He'll definitely be back. I love him. And he's one of the easiest NPCs for me to play because I've played him so much as a player character. And he's just sweet. He's a delightful little himbo. Right. I reckon it's coming up on 7 p.m. here in London. As much as I would love to go to 8 p.m, I'm just not going to make it. My brain is a little bit fried. So in 10 minutes, I'm going to wind the stream down. Just because that's the way my head's going today. Got a bit of a headache from nowhere. And just generally speaking, it's been a hot and difficult week the last 7 days. But I'm very pleased with the progress we made. I'm going to wait and see how I feel about this little thing tomorrow when I wake up. Because I might want to do more work on it, or I might just be happy with it. We'll see. I don't know. I can't tell right now. You know when you're like too close to something to be able to tell? Can't see the wood for the trees sort of vibes. That's sort of where I feel with it. I mean, I've got to do those 2 lip rings that I missed. But yeah. That's how that's looking anyway. So in the meantime, with this chain, there's quite a lot of the black undercoat showing through, but I actually don't hate that. I'd quite like it to look kind of dinged up and stuff. Jukebox345 says, very excited for more adventure. Really keen for Deadlands 2 after hearing Andy describe the rules on the podcast. It's a really pulpy system that I really, really like. Because there's always a chance you'll succeed. And it's really easy to pick up and play and get to grips with. Yeah, big fan of Savage Worlds and just Deadlands. Deadlands was the first RPG I played. So it's always going to feel like home. Right, I'm just going to slap some shade haphazardly onto this thing. But especially onto this bit. And these bits. Doo-doo-doo. Alright, there that goes. I have to shade that again, to be honest, so it's quite shiny. But then shiny's not terrible. Oh, goodness me. Bit more shade. You know what I might do? There it is. Let's just hit it with some pure, unadulterated null Nile. I still really am not that keen on the new formula of Citadel shades. I mean, I now have to water them all down, so it means they're going to last longer for me, but I just don't like the way they go onto the models. So I've still got some old formula Nuln oil, which I'm slapping on now. And yep, that helped. Cool. Oi, 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 oi. Anonymous says, I have to get up at 4:30 European time to get to work. Joy. Ouch! That is upsetting. Right, and then we just got these 3 gobos to paint. And I'll be able to assemble these mangler squigs, which will be very exciting. So yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, that goes on the belly of one. And then, I'm not sure about this bit. That'll be fun to find out, won't it? Right, I'm going to start winding the stream down, I think, because my brain is fried. Thank you all so much for being with me today on this stream. We got quite a lot done, actually. I will be back on Thursday, streaming a game. What game? Not sure yet, but once I work it out, I'll let you know. And then there'll be new episodes of Press Sneaky Eating on Saturday, and then it'll be time for a whole new week, because time moves inexorably onwards, as per usual. So, thank you again for sticking with me. Have a lovely rest of your day. I have a Patreon, there's a link in the description of this video. If you can and want to support me directly through that, that would be very much appreciated. But also, thank you for just being here and watching and chatting and super chatting and all that good stuff. So, have fun, tell your friends about this channel, and I'll catch you soon. Take care.